of you who don't, those are anyone to introduce us, but this is Joe, I'm Sam, both seniors, obviously, from men's and women's soccer. We have the privilege of being able to talk to you guys for a couple minutes here about our experiences and some of the amazing people, seniors especially in this room, and kind of what that's all meant to us over the last 4 years. So I'm going to start and just kind of talk about the athletes that we have here, and the kinds of people that we've been fortunate enough to work and play with in the last 4 years. So to the seniors in the room, I'm going to warn you, I'm going to talk a little bit about cross-country statistics. I promise it'll be a little bit more accessible this go around. And Charlie, I apologize, I'm going to put you on the spot if you're here. But so I won't talk about it too much. Charlie Marquardt, amazing athlete. Done some really good. Still competing, yes. So a couple weeks, still hopefully a few more accolades for you. But something I think stuck out to Joe and I when we were kind of just digging through everything that's happened in the last 4 years is Charlie's story where he has all these amazing things and he's accomplished all this stuff. But it's been more or less in the last 2 years where he's really kind of come into his own. And at the beginning of his career, and I apologize for putting you on the spot again, but at the beginning of his career, he was cross country, for example, 17th place in the conference his freshman year, and then ended up being a 2-time champion by the time he graduated. It's pretty incredible what he's been able to do, and pretty incredible the growth that he's seen in the past 4 years. And I think it kind of speaks to all of the athletes in this room, at least for me personally. It seems like that is somewhat constant throughout Haverford athletes, and it means, because it characterizes us. And I think Charlie's story illustrates it really well. But for all of you, day in and day out, my teammates, everybody wants to get better every day. There have been people that have, come from very, very, humble beginnings to be fantastic athletes in this room across all sports. So I think it's something that stands out to us that we think is pretty important to talk about here as we leave. That it's something that I'll take with me forever. That kind of attitude, that Haverford athlete attitude of growing and persevering and getting better.
We're still going. So I think another thing that is really important to Sam and I when we were sort of planning out this speech was the fact that Haverford athletes are really, they represent a lot on a very holistic level. And I think that, the drive and the work rate that Charlie has exemplified throughout his 4 years here is really seen throughout a lot of different facets of life at Haverford. And I think academically, we are at a college. That's a pretty important part of being here. And I think, the seniors in this room have really achieved a lot on an academic level as well. We've all written a senior thesis, which is something that's pretty unique to Haverford. We have investigated principal component analysis with an application in baseball. We have written an overview of graphene and porous graphene and their analogs, and investigated, body image discrepancy and the role of culture as a moderator. And, that's just 3 of countless, written pieces that this group has accomplished. And the thesis itself really represents a self-taught class. It's a full year of investigative work, really researching something that's really important to you. And I was talking to Casey Wandergan, our lovely athletic liaison, this morning, and he said that, like once you graduate, having written a senior thesis, you're sort of the expert on that little question in the world, which is really exciting. And athletics itself has really shaped my academic experience as well. I have spent, countless late nights in Zubro with Sam working on problem sets and lab reports and things like that. And my roommate, Kathy Prescott, reminded me the other day of I was on the bus coming back from Washington College and realized that my abroad application was due in 3 hours. And so she gave me some gummy bears and told me it was going to be okay and sat there with me. But athletics here has really allowed those kind of panic nights to be few and far between. I really learned time management skills and how to balance things here. And I knew that sleeping 8 hours a night was a priority. Thank you, Corey. So I had to manage my time to do that. But Casey also mentioned something interesting when we were talking this morning. He said that in addition to time management, athletes are really focused when that they need to be focused here at Haverford. And that sort of crunch time mentality is really well exemplified here. And it naturally comes from somebody that's been doing sports for a long time, as we all have. Sam, for example, not to put you on the spot too much, but he has scored 17 goals this year, which is unbelievable for a single season. And some of them were gorgeous, dingers out from the top of the 18, but many of them were really scrappy. And he found a way to get it done when it mattered most. Athletes here, Casey also said, are not just athletes and they're not just students. They're really central and visible members of the Haverford community. Just some academic accomplishments that have occurred within this student body or within this senior class. Ty Joplin received the Boren Scholarship, which allows him to study Arabic in Jordan for the next year. Our Ambler Award recipient, Sarah Madigan, who also studied a year at Oxford University. Sarah Waldis was a Scholar Athlete of the Year. Sam Yarsh received the postgraduate scholarship. Lindsay Lopes and Sarah Waldis co-designed and led an art project with the Haverford students in the Center for Creative Works project, which is on display in Zubro as well. And so these are just a couple of examples of ways that this group of seniors has contributed to the Haverford community and really affected things positively.
So yeah, similar to that. So similar to that too, we play sports and we work hard in the classroom. But on top of all that time commitment, notwithstanding, members of this class and of this group especially are extremely involved in things across campus and across the community. Just to touch on a couple of things, 9 seniors on the leadership committee of the Joe Schwartz run. Pretty amazing, huge time commitment. We all hopefully were able to participate at some point in our time here. Fantastic event, and those 9, some of them have been involved for years with that. It's a great cause, and it really, I guess, provides a nice place for us to bond as a community around and raise money for research for something that's important to many members of the Haverford athletics community. So seniors are involved. The women's soccer program also, you saw the clinic on the video there. They've been doing that for 3 years with the same group of athletes. Being able to bond with these athletes and it allows them to kind of see the smiles on their faces when they come back every year and know people, and they get to know them, and the players get to know the athletes and the athletes get to know the players, and so it provides a really nice bond for them. And similar to that, the department as a whole has really shown a commitment to service through the Villanova Special Olympics event that we volunteer at in the fall, and being part of the SAC. I've been part of the planning process, and it happens for each advance, but the day of, we bus dozens of students over to help make this event something special for people to participate. So it really just speaks to the impact that this group and the seniors has had on the community, both Haverford and Greater Philadelphia. It's important for me, I think, to recognize that because it doesn't necessarily get mentioned with all the awards that keep coming out. Personally very honored to be a part of that. I think it really is important to being a Haverford athlete.
And to sort of wrap things up, we wanted to bring it back to the athletic accomplishments area of things. And I know Wendy just listed a lot of stats, but the senior class has won 12 conference championships, 2 coming in just this past weekend. There are 7 All-American certificates among you. 3 different individuals have been named the Player of the Year in their respective sports. We have 29 academic all-conference students just in the senior class this year, and 21 were named all-conference teams this year as well. So that's just a number of the incredible accomplishments that the senior class has been able to contribute to the school, and both Sam and I are really proud to be a part of it. We also notably tacked on 4 more Hood trophies to the list, so that's nice as well. And just to wrap things up, we wanted to thank all the athletic staff, the coaches. Special shout out to Shane Rainier and Jamie Schneck up there. Especially I really want to thank my fellow seniors and teammates for the best 4 years I could have asked for.